We are live. Welcome, everyone. Dan here with Chief Experts on the call with John and Renee. Kevin may be joining us, but Robin is teaching a class at her community college, so she will not be here. But anyway, thanks for being here today. We're going to have some fun with materials and textures and all that kind of good stuff, which we've done some of that in the past, but I thought we'd just do a class dedicated to that. I know Renee is heavy into materials and textures and all that kind of stuff. Renee is a, let's turn this off for a minute. Um, would you call yourself a Photoshop what god? Something like that.
I've been in Photoshop since, from 1994, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. That's before I had my first computer.
Yeah.
Wow. 1994. That is a while ago. Almost 30 years. Isn't that crazy? That's almost as long. Well, actually, I've been in Chief since 93. So, about the same. Cool. Anyway, we're not going to talk about Photoshop today. Although maybe it'd be kind of fun to do that sometime. Let's not go there. There's so many photo programs out there now. I know Canva is really a big one too these days. A lot of people are using that. So just depends what you're into. So who we got showing up today? I'm not seeing my screen here. Let's see. We got Paul, Norman, Ebony, Kenny. Hey, Kenny. Joe. Cool. A few people showing up. And welcome to the show. So we'll get started here in just a second. And if you guys have questions about this topic, by all means, put it in the chat or any Chief-related questions for that matter. Wasn't planning on spinning the wheel today or any of that good stuff. I was just going to talk about materials. So, and it'd be kind of cool if you guys have some things that you've done with materials too. If you post a comment in there. Hey, Aaron. Let us know. And let's see here. Usually I'm a little better scripted than I am today, but let's just talk a little bit about some classes we got coming up. So just change the dates on these classes. We're going to do that in a week from Monday. We're going to start the next class, but we've moved them into December. We wanted to get more people to sign up. So thought we'd give us a little more time, and seems like a good time, because hopefully by then you can breathe a little bit right before Christmas. So come on into class, take a few days and relax, and we'll dig into Chief in our intermediate and advanced classes. So the classes are held here in Bloomington, Minnesota. It's probably about a 10-minute free shuttle ride from the airport. The hotel that we do this at is a Hampton Inn and Suites. Nice hotel, fairly new property. The rooms are nice. And the rooms, where is that right here? Am I in the right place? I'm not in the right place. Let me get to the right place. That might help.
The hotel also has free shuttles to the Mall of America.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I wonder if they go anywhere else. They go downtown or any of that kind of stuff too?
I don't. They probably get you. You could get on the train at the Mall of America.
Exactly. Go to the mall, hop on the train. That's what a couple from Canada did. Went and saw a Vikings game downtown. So it's a nice little hotel. We limit our classes to about 14 people. So if you can join us, that'd be great. We'll have a lot of fun. We're going to give you some really good stuff, intermediate and advanced. And it's kind of like you really got to have a bit of an understanding about how to use Chief. I mean, if you've been using it a while and you're getting the results you want, this would be good for you to come into something like this, because we'll take you to that next level. In the advanced, we'll have a lot more Q&A too, so we could dig more into your specific issues that you're having. So the syllabus is a work in process for a class like this, because we don't really know what you need to learn until we get a list of people and we get a chance to speak with them and find out where you're at with Chief, and then we'll adjust some of these things that we're going to talk about based on your needs. So we do keep it somewhat fluid, and we have a lot of fun with that. But John and I both love to do this. Renee, we wish you could come and join us, but you're a little ways away, a little bit of a drive. So maybe another time. Maybe How about in March? Speaking of March, we do have our summit coming up, and we still have rooms left. So this is our big event of the year. This is a week-long event that you will be surrounded and just into the thick of chief architect and everything to do with design business. So it's really a lot of fun. We did this last year at this same spot, and it really is a nice event. So if you're really serious about learning chief, come and join us. You'll come away with a ton of knowledge. And I know, Renee, you had a little bit of fun teaching this class. So did you get any sleep when you were there last?
Yeah, I got a few hours here and there.
All right, cool. Yeah, I know you're one of those guys. Just bring it on. Which we're all like that. So anyway, this page has a lot of information on it. Feel free if the rooms are not redded out here at the bottom, they're still available. So check it out. Give me a call if you have any questions. So let me jump out of that and get into chief. So thanks. With all of our training, we do have a lot of fun. As you witness here on the Designer Show, this is just something we do for free. No one pays us anything. We just come here and do this because we love chief architect and we love helping you guys. So it's just something we do. It is good marketing, so we'll give it that. So it does help generate business, which is why we're in business, right? Last time I heard you guys were in business to make money, right? Or no, you're doing it for free.
Yeah. Sometimes we make money.
I'm working on a big one right now. This is like, oh my God. We'll see how it comes out in the end. Anywho, let's talk about textures a little bit. What is a material? What is a texture? You hear these terms, and I know some people when you get into a CAD program and you hear terms like textures, it's like that's something that's bumpy or has lines in it and stuff, and it's like no, a texture in a CAD program, in any CAD program for that matter, is a photograph. So this countertop that you see right here in this image is a photograph of some material. The flooring is a photograph. The lattice in the back is actually a photograph of their backyard. So this is a room addition that I'm doing, and I just wanted to show them what their view would look like. A small backyard. So in that image is it appears a little closer than it really is. So someday I'll figure out how to adjust that. Do you know how to adjust that, Renee? To make that backdrop appear further away?
Yeah, you can do some changes in the backdrop setting itself with your edit active view.
Is it a change in the image size or is it a change in the backdrop itself?
It'd be better if you took it into a program like Photoshop and just expanded it a little bit. But
make the image bigger.
You can tell it that it's a different degree, so you can narrow the degree or expand the degree to kind of change the bubble that it's being applied to.
We'll have to talk about that. Maybe we cover that in the advanced class we were just talking about doing. So I keep bugging Renee. We want to do an advanced class with him. So if you guys are interested, just pay attention. We'll probably announce that at some point. But anyway, let's go back into what these textures are. So let me just bring up a different view. So when we go into a view like this, like the brick right here, you can see the repeating pattern. It's the photograph that is there. So when we click on this icon up here, call it our little rainbow tool. Used to look more like a rainbow, but it's still got the colors. What is the name of that tool? It's called the Adjust Material Definition.
I call it the Rainbow Bacon tool.
The rainbow, yeah, I like that. Rainbow Bacon tool. That covers both of them. When you click on that and then click on a material, you can then make some adjustments to those materials. You can make them appear bigger, smaller. You could do all sorts of things with them. One of the things that I want to point out at this time is materials have two things associated with them. One is the pattern. It's the vector-based pattern that you see in your elevations and your line drawings. Those are mathematically correct. So when we look at this screen right here, and we see that we're on the pattern Okay, that's the lines that are drawn. And when we look at the dimensions here, we actually see real dimensions. Okay, we see a height and we see a width. And so you can type those in and Chief will make those. So when you print this to scale, they'll measure exactly that dimension. So that's what a texture, that's what the pattern does. Patterns are pretty cool. You can, Chief added a new pattern tool that you can use in Chief to create your own patterns if you want to. I haven't done much with that. Have you guys done anything with the pattern tool?
Oh yeah.
No.
That makes it really easy to do complicated patterns and not have too many pattern lines, which can really slow down a plan file. And
yeah,
it's
like,
nice to note, just to start being specific about what we're even looking at here is pattern is going to be a vector-based graphic.
Yes.
Right. So mathematical-based lines, and then your textures are going to be raster-based images.
They're dots on your screen. They're photographs. As with any photograph on your computer or with any photograph period, there's a bunch of dots that have different colors in them, which is kind of cool how that works when you really dig in. If you look at a picture with a magnifying glass, it's nothing but a bunch of dots. All right. So again, mathematical and photographs. And what the photographs do is they just tile themselves over the surface like wallpaper. So when you look at the image that is created in Chief, like for siding and roofing and things like that, if it's a really good texture, you can't tell where the image starts and stops because it's called the seamless texture. So this brick here lines up nice with this brick here. The brick up here lines up nicely with the brick there. So it looks like a clean, consistent image, like the siding. The siding looks nice because, if it's this image here, the end of this siding here matches the end of the siding there. So it's one smooth image. So if we click on that, there's the photograph of the siding, right? And then of course there's your pattern. So it's simple, but it's complicated how all this stuff works.
Well,
and yeah,
while you're in this area, here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you cover matching pattern to texture size? I'm having issues with getting those to line up.
Sure. We can talk a little bit about that. Let me answer that other question though. Someone sent in about if I change the color of this brick, can I do it so it doesn't change the grout line? The question is about tile, I think. Same difference. So when you use the rainbow bacon tool, and you click on a material in your plan to adjust it, and we go to the texture tab, there's a little thing down here called material color that you can click on, and you can adjust the color of the material. So let's click on that color swatch right there, and I could take this eyedropper here that you see down here, and I could go drop that on a color. So if you actually have a color swatch from Benjamin Moore or something, you could just drop this on that color swatch, and you'll see how it changes the color in the dialog here. All right. So when I change this, the brick is now going to become blue. So it's going to look like that. All right. But it is going to change the underlying image as well. So it's going to change everything to that new color. That's what it does. It's like you're taking this picture in the Photoshop and you're changing the base color of it. What do they call that, Renee? Where you change that color? I don't remember.
This Chief's essentially doing like a blend mode.
Yeah.
So it's a multiply. They're multiplying the color you're choosing with the color that you've already got in there.
Right.
And we're hoping we change some things there for X16, but we'll see.
So you'll be able to pick out a color within a material, you think, to change something? Or what do you think?
No, I don't think so, but I think we'll be able to do some a little bit better of an overlay where it's not affecting the blacks or the whites so strongly. It's more affecting the gray tones, but we'll see what we come up with.
Sure. All right. Well, let's undo that. All right. So what was that other question you just had, John?
Matching the texture to the pattern.
That's a little tricky. Okay. So watch what happens. Let's say that this brick does not have a pattern. Okay, a vector-based layout for it. and I click this little button here that says pattern from texture. Pattern from texture. It's going to look like this. See how it's actually kind of where it sees all of these different images here. It's kind of making that part of the pattern. That's going to create a lot of lines in my plan. Now I can adjust that so it makes it simpler or not as, not as complex. See, is there a way to invert this? I don't remember how this works. I don't use this very often because it doesn't work that well.
No way to invert it. And actually, I really discourage the use of that tool because it creates so many vector lines that it can really cripple a plan.
Well, it's going to, the math is just going to go crazy. So if I look at this now, see all those little lines in there? Chief now has to calculate all of those, mathematically calculate where all those lines are. So it adds, it really takes a chunk out of the program. As far as, if you have a fast computer, you probably won't notice it, but yeah, it will definitely slow it down. So how would you handle that, Renee, when you need a pattern?
Will you open your brick texture again? And then in your texture panel, and this is where I literally just count the number of brick that are that image, right? So top to bottom.
Right.
If I know how many, I can't quite see it, so I don't know how many brick are there, but let's call it there's 5 brick. I just do 5 times 2.5 if I've got a 2.5 brick, and that should be my my Y scale, right? And then once I've specified that is now created a brick that's 2.5 inches tall. Then you can go to a pattern, pick a grid, and say that it's 2.5 inches tall. And then the last bit of that is maybe you have to change the horizontal or vertical offset to get it to line up perfectly.
Yeah, you're talking about down here, adjusting that material to move it around. We were just discussing that a little bit here.
So uncheck keep pattern and texture in sync at the very top.
Okay.
And now you would specify whatever your brick size is, and you'd have to know exactly what it is. So you'd have to count the number of bricks that's in that image.
7 5/8 by 2 1/4.
Yeah.
So I will put that number here.
Now go to
You'd have to count the number of rows of bricks that you have in the image there and multiply it by that number, 2 1/4 by that number, or 2.5 with the grout line, whatever.
Okay.
And then that would be your Y scale for the pattern.
This way. Okay. That would be this number to get it right. You know how I did this? I actually created this brick. A cheat. I go like this. I take and I go into an elevation. And let me get to the right plan here. Where am I at? Come on. Where to go? Here we are. Okay. So it should be a chimney there. So I go in here and to get the pattern I want, I'll switch to a vector view. Well, no, to get the vector pattern right, to get the image pattern right, I'll switch to a, I'll just go ahead and draw a box on my wall like this, the right size. So if this is, if this needs to be 8 by 2, I'll just keep it simple, even though I know it's not that. And I'll just kind of put it on top of one of the patterns here, even though I know it's not quite right. Then I'll switch to my vector or my standard mode. And then I'll just take that same brick and I'll just put it where I need it to get the pattern right. And then I'll just go to my rainbow bacon tool and start adjusting these numbers a little bit until that fits. So if I go, let's add an inch to this, and I'll leave the, you might have to turn retain aspect ratio off. Okay, so now I just stretched out my pattern this way. So again, if I go in here, let me just make that bigger. I'll make that 50. And you'll see how you can stretch the pattern one way. Okay, actually, I bet that turns itself back on. You got to watch that because it turns itself back on every time. Let me go turn that off. So this is how I've always done it. I'm not into math, so I just go like this, and it's always worked great for me. See how I can stretch that brick out but I can keep it the same height. So that's what I'm doing. Is it just imagine you're taking that picture and you're stretching it, and that's going to stretch the pattern that's on the picture. So you can take any tile and do this to it. I was doing that with some bath tile yesterday where I needed an 8x10 and I had a 12x12 tile. So I was just changing the image, and then I put a little 3D box on there so I could check the size. So if I like that size brick, I would just go here and I'd make this like this and this. So that's, I'll just stretch that out here like this, and that's 2 inches by 2 1/8 by 12 and a half. And I would just go into my material and change that under the pattern. So that'd make that 12.
So you just sneak up on it.
Pretty much. It works.
So the value in doing it the mathematical approach is that we can get the pattern file to match up perfectly very easily.
Yes. So if we had more time and you weren't driving your car, I'd say show me that, Renee, but it's probably not a good idea right now.
Well, here, no, do it. We can do it. And this is a pretty simple approach. So pull that adjust material up again.
Okay.
Go to the texture panel. Uncheck keep pattern and texture in sync. Count. Someone tell me the number of height.
7, 8,
the number
9,
of
10,
rows.
11, 12, 14 high.
Okay, now do in your XY, do your 14 times 2.5.
14 times 2.5. Get my tab key.
This should be your XY scale, not a horizontal offset.
No, that's true. So I'll just put it there. I'll just uncheck that, put that there. Let me take that out of there. Okay, but you see how I multiplied that right inside one of the chief boxes? Now we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 wide on the brick.
Show me the bricks left. Yeah, there you go.
4 times 8.
You put those in the wrong way. X is on top, right? I can't quite see it either, but
X should
the scale,
be
the up and down should be.
so that should be 35.
And
This should be 32 by 35. Okay, that were the numbers we just put in. So that math I just did now. Now go to my pattern.
Now go to your pattern.
Yeah.
Pick a brick lay.
I call what?
Is it already a brick lay? I can't tell. Pick a brick lay pattern.
You talking one of these?
Yeah, what do they call it? I can't remember.
It's just a grid now.
They call it brick.
They call it grid. They used to call it brick. They don't call it brick anymore. It's called a grid.
Is it grid half off or something like that?
That's right. We need the grid that is offset.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me make the lines darker so you can see the lines. Now you can see the lines. And then again, the height. Now we're adjusting the height of the actual brick size, not the image. So this would be so this would be it's 12 and a half by 2 1/4. 0.25.
There you go. And now once you have that set, then you should be able to keep pattern and texture in sync. And then if you change the pattern size, it will change the texture size.
Okay. So there's my brick. And if I change, so that's lined up. Let's see if I switch to my standard view. No, they're not quite lined up yet.
So you might have to change the offset just a little bit. Just make sure you're unchecking the pattern in sync.
You know what I did is I put it on the 8-inch brick, not the okay. I did it wrong. I did the math wrong. I did 8 inches instead of 12 and a half. So, because that's what 12 and a half. But I think I get the idea. Okay, let's move on.
Aaron feels like there's a specialty tile grout tool coming on, Renee.
That's Photoshop. No, actually, that's Substance Player. Justin Cruz already made that for Chief Architect.
There's a question about that too. So,
Aaron,
about talking about that. Where did it go?
Yeah, if you want to make your own tile, go over to Chief Talk in the symbols and content section, and it's pinned as the third post from the top, and it's the Substance Player. Yeah,
there was. We looked at that when we were in Coeur d'Alene. That was pretty cool. So you just go to Chief talk. Let me go run over there quick.
And wasn't there some talk about the guy that's, I forget his name, the guy that does all the materials? If you need a material, just let him know, and he'll do it.
Yes, that was Justin. Dustin.
Cruz.
Dustin at chiefarchitect.com. Send him an
So
email.
don't struggle with your materials. If you want a new material, just let him know, and he said he'd make them. So
yeah. So is that under symbols and content? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you got to be signed in.
Am I not signed in? No, I'm signed in. Custom material generator with substance players. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And they have a wood builder in there, textile builder. It's great stuff.
They do. So yeah, if you're into creating your own materials, you could get this tool here. And here's all the downloads that you would need for this. I don't know, did they have any direction for this? Any videos or anything? I don't remember if they had.
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, he's got some pretty elaborate direction in there.
Okay. This is not for the faint of heart. This is something, if you're serious about materials and you want to get into it, Chief is giving you some tools to do this. So it's pretty cool how it works. Someone was talking about their materials look flat. Let's see if we can address that a little bit. Let's go into a 3D view here. Let me just do this one with the backdrop. And let's make the flooring look a little, like it's got some definition to it. Okay. So you can see it does have a little bit now of definition. Let's try to give it some more. So Renee, how would you do that?
You got to make a bump map and a roughness map.
So how do we make those? We need the substance tool.
Well, substance will do it for your flooring, absolutely. So that tool is really great for that. And then otherwise, I'd be in Photoshop making it.
Okay. Well,
I had a very long conversation with Ryan, who is the development head of rendering.
So this particular material does have a normal map and a hardwood map, occlusion map. And sometimes what I've done is I've just pasted the same image from here into here and adjusted this. I don't know if I was doing anything right or not, but it worked for me. So I would do that and it would change. See how it's changing the texture of that material, adding some bumpiness to it. So I'm doing it right within Chief without doing anything more. And it was really, should be let's go 0.1. Some materials this works for. Obviously for this flooring, it's not what I want. But yeah, so that's going to be a little bit more advanced as well. So let's not go there right now. Because as you can see, so when you're into that world, and it's all coming back to me now from our meeting this summer, the actual material here, the wood flooring, the wood look flooring is one image. Okay. But there are other images attached to it that produce that roughness. They don't look like the wood, they just look like roughness. And that's what gives the material. And then Chief combines those to give it that look that it does have depth of field to it. So it is kind of interesting how that works. Let's not get into that. Let's go do a couple other things. Unless you want to comment on that some more.
All right, just when we get into this kind of stuff, we're touching into third-party programs like Photoshop. So I had a really long conversation with Ryan, who's head of development for the rendering part of Chief, and maybe we can integrate some cool for the next versions. But sure. Okay.
Let me talk about a couple of settings you should always make in your renderings, and then I'm going to go show you how to create some of your own materials. So when you were into a view like this, all right, there's a few adjustments you need to make Chief work a little bit better. First of all, you have to switch to PBR, the physically based ray trace. Okay, so this, standard view looks like that. which in most cases, that's going to be fine if you're just talking to the homeowner about something. But if you have a good computer, I've got a 4090 video card on mine, and I got tons of RAM. So I've got a nice fast computer. So whenever I move this image, it regenerates quickly and boom, there's my image. It looks good. So that's the first thing I've done is I've switched to physically based. I think, Renee, you have yours set up, just comes up physically based, don't you? Whenever you bring a camera up.
Some of my cameras, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I have it on the alternate, yeah.
And that's a default setting under camera tools. So if you want all your floor cameras to always come up with physically based, set that to go to your default settings, click the little wrench icon here, go to your default settings, camera tools, click on the one you want, and then just change it to the view that you want to have come up. So if you want all of your 3D camera views to be physically based every time you drop a camera, done. That's what all you have to do is make that switch. Now it's going to change it in your just for this plan. It doesn't change it. That doesn't change it for the whole program. So if you want to change that, so it's always like that, do it in your template. And then
I like to do it so it's the alternate method. So we right click and drag a camera, it'll do physically based.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I like that idea. In fact, I should set that up in mine. So so if we go to our camera tools, I don't even use that, but now I will. So I'll have standard here, but for my alternate, I'll do my physically based. So here you do your left mouse. For this one, you would do your left mouse button. For this one, you do your right mouse button to bring up the view. So I'm going to change that in my template. So when I go back to my floor plan now, and I want to bring up another view, I'll just drag my camera, my full camera with my right mouse button instead of my left, and that'll bring it right up into the physically based, and now I don't have to switch it. Thank you, Renee. I didn't even know that.
That's pretty cool.
Like that? Well, I think we can go home now. We learned
I think so.
one day. So all of your cameras have that setting in it, so you can make that switch to whatever you want. Let's see, how does that work with? Let's see. Let's go into there for a second. How does that work with the overviews? Perspective, full overview. We don't have an alternate method there because you know where to use your right mouse button. It just brings up a view, and so I don't know.
You have an alternate between elevation and backclip?
Yes. So those two do, and backclip has the same thing. It's just the ones that when you click a button, it just pops up the 3D view. So those are the ones that are not going to have an alternate. Like it.
The perspective overviews take up less in terms of rendering, so I like to just set those to ray trace.
Can you know how to make that change?
Keep in mind, if we're on a Mac, we don't have that ray trace.
Oh, that's right.
What do you want to show to make that change in the template?
What do you call those Macs, Renee? So if you go into your default set, into your preferences, and you go to new plans, whatever's listed here under plan template, that's what you're opening every time you open a new plan. So in here I have my template, my X15 plan template. So I could actually open that. I could go open that actual file. I could browse to it. See, does this allow? Does that? No, that stays open. Could I open it from here? I don't have it here. Oh, you have to go browse. Never mind. Go open that. Whatever's listed there, go open that plan. You go open plan, and then go open that template. Make your change. And a template's just a blank plan. Nothing more, nothing less. So make that change, close it. Next time you open a plan, that setting will be there. It won't affect any plans you've done in the past, only future plans when you go file new. So when you go new plan, it's going to open a copy of whatever is listed under that dialog. All right, let's go do a few fun things. What are we doing? Okay, we got 25 minutes. So I set up here how to do this kind of stuff. You guys ever have an interest in this kind of thing where you can actually bring in pictures of people or put them on TVs or signs, create your own signs, that kind of stuff? It's really easy to do. You could do this with any image that you have on your computer. Of course, where the problem comes in is if you need to show it in a vector view, then you're not going to have the vector image of those things unless you have a CAD drawing of a sign that you're creating. So we're going to, again, understand that difference between vector and render, whereas this is rendered. Now, if I go to vector view, if I switch to vector mathematically, see all of the images on the signs go away because that's the material. This is still going to work in a vector view. So those things work fine. And those are kind of fun images to play with. They're really easy to do, but you'll see they're not really 3D people. They're just flat images, which a lot of chief trees and things like that are flat images. Although they have more and more 3D stuff. They're doing a really good job with their 3D trees. I'm not quite sure how they're doing it, but it's kind of like their trees are drawn in little square boxes that attach pictures of leaves to them. Am I seeing that right, Renee? On some of their trees.
Say that again.
So in some of Chief's 3D trees, when you put a tree in and it's 3D, and you're in a render view, it looks like real leaves on the tree. But when you go to a vector view, the leaves look square or rectangular.
It's a PNG image, which allows transparency, and it's applied to a square.
Yeah. So much the same as this, right? Where you're just creating that kind of an image. So I'll show you how to create some of these things. They're kind of fun.
There was a question about grass along those lines.
Okay, grass. Well, let's cover
in X16. In X16, I believe they're giving us a clipping mask, so that's going to make it a lot easier to do those kind of things.
So I assume what we're talking about would answer this question.
All right, let's put some terrain in. This is a X15 only. Older versions don't have that. So when you bring up your 3D view in this version, let's get out of these. I'll say no. All right, so when I bring up a 3D view of this, this isn't too bad, but you can see the pattern here. Okay, you can see where they repeat. I can't quite see it this direction, but I can definitely see it here. So that's the images repeating. But the real question was, how do you do real looking grass? So Chief has given us a new tool that we can do that with. So if I go to, where'd my terrain go? Oh, I'm in the wrong. No, where'd it go? Oh, I have it turned off. Let me switch to this one. Oh, let me switch to all on. I had my terrain turned off. I was messing with this before. Which one did I have it turned on? All right, sorry. I had it turned on before, but then I turned it off. Let me just go into my layers and turn it back on. Terrain perimeter. Oh, it is turned on. Do I have it on the lower level? Oh, come on. Well, let's go switch to all layers on. I know I have one in here because I see it. There it is. And it's under, no, that's not it. I just click on this to find the layer, I guess. Terrain perimeter. Oh, come on, Dan.
There it is.
All right. That's a different plan. Well, I'll just do it in this. That's the terrain perimeter. All right. So Chief has given us a tool. Oh, I did put it in that. I was messed up between two. It's not even Monday. What's wrong with me? God.
It's the 5th Monday of the week.
Is that what it is? All right. So if I go in here, we have a new tool under, where is that again? It's under terrain. It's called, where is that? Feature. Where'd they put that? I don't use it very much. So polyline grass region. Okay. It's under grass, well, the whole category called grass region. So when I click on that and draw a box on my plan, I guess I have to be on the right one. You can draw grass wherever you want it to be. And this looks like real grass. So you can do things with this grass too. And if your terrain is contoured, the grass will follow the contour. And then you can put garden beds in it and stuff. So what I could do is open the dialog for that grass, and we can see, where's the height? Here's the height. So if you want really tall grass, you could grow it and have really tall grass. So that eliminates the issue of a grass not looking real. So if you're doing landscaping and you want to show this as really good looking grass, there you go. You can change this.
He was trying to make a special kind of grass from Oregon.
Well, we could change the color. I mean, it's, you know, you can make it rougher and smoother. You can mow it. I don't quite get what that means, but I just haven't been using this that much. I don't do that much landscaping. So, but if you want to make it look kind of dried out grass, you could go more like that. And there you go. It needs watering. So you got some flexibility with it. You can make the blades bigger and smaller, I think. So give it a try and see if it does what you want it to do. But that's just a different way. I'm assuming Chief is doing some of this stuff because this is some of their internal guts of their program now is allowing them to do more of these kinds of things without eating up so much horsepower from our computer. Well, let's go create a couple images real quick. Let me show you how to do this group of people. Here's our team from the summit that's coming up. All right. So these kind of items are called images. Okay. So Chief has images in its library of different people and things like that. They used to have more. I think they took a lot of them out of there. So let's go create that. So what you need is a picture. You need a photograph of something. So here's the photograph that I took that picture out of. Okay. So we have to get rid of the background. Unless you already have a white background or, you know, if you have a solid color background, it's not an issue. So you do have to get rid of the background. So you're going to have to cut the people out of the image. That's the one caveat to this. Chief's not going to do that automatically. In fact, let me try that real quick. I had never tried that before to see if that works. But anytime you want to create new materials, you open your library, and I have my browser floating because I always keep it on a different screen. So let's click on, I have a little folder up where I create and putting miscellaneous materials. So whenever you're in your library and you right click on a folder, you want to create a new material. Okay. And here we're creating a new image. So let me just go select that one. I'm going to go browse to that picture. I'm going to get the one with the background and see what happens. I meant to do that. And then I'm going to, you've got to set the transparency. So let's use, okay, because this is a JPEG, it doesn't have a transparent background. So I'm not going to be able to set a color very easily because you have to pick out a color that you want to be transparent. So this isn't going to work very well. Okay. So it's only going to take out a certain bit of stuff. It's not going to get the whole thing. So you do have to have a solid color background. Now, if you're a Photoshop user like Renee, it's like, poof, done, right? Is that right, Renee?
Oh, yeah. That's quick.
Yeah. So I use a little program because I'm not a Photoshop user.
That program you used worked really well.
Which one was that?
I saw it when we were doing our Kansas City.
Yeah, that was the online program I use. It's not totally free, but if you do a lot of this stuff like I do, I just, it's $3 a month. It's like not a big deal. It's called, let's see, it's called, what's it called again? I just had it open here. Let me go to my history. Oh, come on, Dan. It's called, I had too many open. Here, let me look it up. I had it open and I restarted my computer and I closed it and didn't restart it. So let me just go into, I knew this was going to happen when I restarted my computer. Then I got distracted. Oh, come on. It's called Clipping Magic. Yes. Okay. So let's go to Clipping Magic. You can even try it for free, I think. It looks like this when you open it up. And I do a fair amount of this kind of stuff because I do a lot of marketing images and things like that. So if you're looking for a program, it's really, really a slick program. So all I'm going to do is take that picture that I was showing you, and I'm going to drag it onto the screen here. So I'm going to drag it right here, and it's going to load it up, and it's going to split the screen, and it's going to cut everything out except the people. Does a fantastic job. And then if you need to touch it up, or if you want to keep something in there, you can use some of the tools here to add and remove parts of what you want to keep. So it's pretty cool how it works. It's really a simple program, and it's very inexpensive. So check it out. So there's my deal. I'm going to crop this image because I just want that. Now there's other programs. I think Canva can do this, and I just don't use enough other programs. I've been using this for years, and this is what I use. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to download that. I'm going to put it in my folder. I'll just call it the Summit Gang and hit yes. And now I've got my image.
Important to note that that's a PNG image, and that's the only one that's going to support transparency.
Yes, PNG. Don't. There's another one that does that too, but I don't remember what it's called. But PNGs are what you're looking for.
That's a TIFF, but I
okay.
TIFF.
So then I'm going to go to my library and open that. I'm going to right click on the folder I want to put that image in, and I'm going to hit a new material, image, not material. This is an image now. And then I'm going to go select that file. I'm going to browse to it, select that one I just created. And there it is. It's what kind is it? It's a tree, shrub, flower, rock, people. Okay. And 2D plan symbol. So you could select different CAD blocks to use on the floor plan. Okay, because you got to have a 2D image associated with the image of the thing. And you could even draw something out if you wanted to. It's going to be 6 feet tall. That's about how tall you are, Renee, right? I think you were the tallest one there. You're probably 6'2". I don't know. How tall are you?
Just under 6 foot.
Okay. Finished floor. Oh, we got to set it here, 6 feet. And that's really all there is to it. And then you can have that image. It'll be in your library, and you can place it in your plan. And see, there's the image it uses for people right there. But you can move that around, and you can rotate it. Now, what you want to be aware of it with these kinds of things is you can have the image to always rotate with the camera. Okay, so when you're the image will always face the camera when you rotate your plan. So that's what makes that work. If you turn that off, the image will stay fixed as you rotate the view. So when you now look at this, let's get out of here and go to here. And there we have another one. Oh, I set the image to be the top of it. I adjusted down here instead of floor to bottom should be 0. That's what I did wrong. There we go. So now we've got a double the fun. Okay. So there's how you create an image like that. So if you have a picture of your client or something, their pet, their dog, kind of a fun way to dress up your photo. Works pretty well. Something like a TV. You want to put an image on a TV or on a picture frame or something like that in the plan. That's really easy. So you just, so again, I could just go to my library, and you've got a couple ways to do this. I'll just show you the simple way. Right click on here, new. This time we want a new material. Okay, we're going to create a material, not an image. So I'm going to go click on material. I'm going to go and name the material. I'll call this the Summit Gang. And we're going to go over here to file. We got to find the image we want to put on here and go find that picture. If I did that one, it would have the background. If I did this one, it'll just be the people and nothing else. I could pick out any of these images and hit open. So I've just created a new material. There's that image. Make sure you put stretch to fit on here so that we don't want it to tile the surface like a brick or something like that. We just want it to be one stretched out image. Click OK. And and you can put that image on anything. So if you go back to your plan, so right now I could just click on that. I could click on that, put it wherever you want. So there you go. If you want to create a really big image, you could do that. So that's kind of fun. All right. So those are kinds of things you can do here. I've got a little sign that I put my logo on, same exact way I did the TV. If you want to have a, if you want to brand all of your 3D views, put some job signs in your plan. Put a job sign in front, put some plaques on side and inside on all the 3D views. So if someone's looking at it, they'll have your logo on there. People go, oh, they did that. It's assuming that you've had your client sign a waiver that says 3D images are just make-believe and they're not to be the real thing. Make-believe is the wrong word, but you get the idea. Let's go create a, let's go create a tile. Let me show you a tool here in Chief that I use a lot, actually. I really like this little tool. I put that, these are the only icons I ever add to my toolbar, unlike Renee. I keep mine pretty simple, but this icon right here, a lot of you probably aren't even aware is there. It's kind of hidden under a menu. Under Tools, there's a thing here called Screen Capture. And that's the icon I add to my toolbar. It's called the Screen Capture Setup. Okay. And so when I want to create a material, let's go in here. I want to create a tile or something like that. All right, so let me just go into the 3D view. It could be a 3D view, 2D view, doesn't matter. But I'm going to put some tile on this little piece on the floor. Okay, this is the slab. Oh, look at that, I got you guys in here again. You're everywhere. Okay, and I want to create a material for that. So same thing. It's just, I'm just going to go to my library and right click on this new. I like it that they've done this. I don't know how long it's been since we've been able to click on a folder because it goes right into the right folder right away. Used to be I would always click on the user catalog and then do it, and it would put it on the list. I don't know, maybe that's been there a while. I just never realized it. Hey, Renee, do you know, are they fixing this?
Renee's gone. I think he lost his reception.
Shoot, I was going to ask him if they're fixing this stupid library thing, because when you click on the user catalog, it shows everything. It doesn't show the folders, it shows everything, and I haven't been able to find out how to turn that off. So I don't know, what is this? Maybe that's it. Include folders and text search. No, that's not it. So when you hit the gear icon, you can turn the different windows on and off on your thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've noticed that, but yeah. So in the user
if you
catalog,
select the folder, all it shows is the folder.
It shows the folder, yeah. But when I click here or click here, well, it doesn't do it for these. It only does it for the user catalog. But if I'm creating a material and I'm not creating it in the folder and it puts it in the root directory, it shows everything. Anyway, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't like it. I hope they change it back. Anyway, let's go back here. Let's go create some tile. I'm going to create a new material. I'm going to create, actually, I don't want to do it like this. I want to do it by opening a website. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's just go here and open a browser window. Let's go find some tile texture. So I just put the word texture in because that's going to narrow down your search to give you images that are going to be set up already so that they can be seamless textures. All right. So if you do it this way, like let's get one that's not licensed. Let's just grab this one, for example. Okay, so there's an image here of the tile I want. So I'm going to right click and I'll save that. Okay, now see here, this one's not letting me do a save. Okay, a save the image as. A lot of these sites will protect their images, but I want that tile. So let's go back to Chief. And I'm going to go to, you could go to Tools, Screen Capture, Setup. Don't capture, just always go to Setup. Okay, so it's going to always open this menu. Now you get a chance to choose which kind of screen capture you're going to do. I want to create a material, a tile material. And I'm going to hide Chief when I capture because the image is behind Chief. So I need to get rid of it. So I'm going to capture. Now I'm going to grab that tile, get as close as I can to the edge without getting the edge in. Okay. And there's the tile that I just grabbed. See, now it makes it really hard to find it because all of my materials are open in my user catalog. Where to go? Well, I'm just going to go here and move it to. So I've been doing this where I just move this to a folder. And in this case, it'll be under my CE library. Where it goes?
That's why they did that, Dan.
To force you to move it because you can't find the damn
force you to
thing?
move it.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Well, don't. I don't like it. Because if you forget to do it, then it's a real pain. Let's see, where did I put that? Here, it's under here. Miscellaneous. Created a folder called miscellaneous. I thought I did. Whatever, I'll just leave it there for now. Okay, so there it is. So I'm going to open that object, and here's that tile. Okay, I'm going to turn off stretch to fit because I want it to put itself over the surface. All right, and this is where I'm going to need to do probably some calculating to get that tile to be the right size. This is where I might put that 3D box on the wall. Or if I, because here I've got different sizes, so I don't necessarily know what sizes there are. I could try hitting, I could try saying, go to my pattern and say pattern from texture. Let's see how it does. Let's turn the threshold up a little bit more. Let's see if I can get close. Not the greatest, but let's try it. Let's click OK. Let's go add it to the, yeah, let's click OK. Now let's go put that on something. So once I've created it, all I have to do is click on it here and then spray it onto the surface that I want to put it on. So that looks pretty good. I mean, it matched up pretty well. I could put it on, a wall if I wanted to, or, you can put it on anywhere you want. So can't put it on the people though.
So Renee's back. Renee's back. You could ask him that question.
Oh yeah, Renee. In the user catalog, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's the question?
When you click on the user catalog, it shows every symbol in the user catalog, even if they're in folders. It's really a pain in the patoot.
Uncheck the little icon at the bottom.
Which one? This one?
Yep.
Oh, there it is. I didn't click on that icon when I was playing with this. Thank you. But now it doesn't. Well, it does include. No, it's not. Now it does not include the images of the subfolders. That I don't like. Because it would include. Yeah, they changed that. So it used to include the image of each fold. It used to show the first item of each folder, which was kind of handy.
I kind of stopped browsing through folders like that because the search tools are so much powerful because we can search by classification.
But someone new to Chief isn't going to know that. So that's interesting. Okay. Or maybe okay, so it works here. So here it's showing the first item in each. Oh, whatever. We won't get into that right now. Anyway.
We're almost out of time, but we got one question here.
Yes. What's the question?
Dan, can you create a tile and place and plan showing adjustable grout lines, please?
Not with an image.
No way to do adjustable grout lines. No.
Not with an image. You'd have to draw that. Third party, or you're going to have to draw it yourself manually. So yes, for that, what I would do is go into where I'm going to draw that. I'm going to start by, I like to draw it in 2D because I can grab and move things. So if I'm going to create a 6x6 tile, I'm going to go create that tile, and then I'm going to start doing some copies of it. Maybe I'll start down here. So this is, you're drawing it exactly how you want it laid out. So I'm going to do my multiple copy. I'm going to go 6 1/4, and 6 1/4. I'm going to drag this out with my right mouse button, drag it up with my right mouse button. If I want to put something in between here, I might, grab a strip here and, I'll move it up 3 inches. Oops, I moved it the wrong way. But it's nice to start moving it and then hit tab. So that should be 0 and this will be 3. So now I've created a space in between. Now I could create that sizzle strip in between here. Once I get one of these put in. Of course, I didn't hit my copy button again. So this is how I would do it sometimes. I don't do this a lot, but the only way you're going to get adjustable grout lines if you don't have the right image is to draw it in your plan. But once I get this all drawn out the way I want it, I'm going to group select it. And as long as you get this image down here, okay, if I try to group all of them, I don't get the magic wand. So sometimes you have to do a few at a time. So I'm going to grab those. I'm going to make I want to do this out of a material region and click OK. Now I can adjust that to be what I want it to be. Yes. Yeah, I can edit this to be whatever I want it to be. And there we have our tile in there, which I would typically use just a solid picture. I wouldn't use the grout line tile. And I could also go change that real quick by using the spray can. And let's go find a tile. That is a single tile. Come on, let's just get that one. Now I'm going to click on one tile, but before I do that, I'm going to change everything in this room that is made out of that tile is going to change at once. There's all that tile. You could do this once you created the 3D thing too. The trouble is you can't group select. That's why I like to draw. That's because I can't group select those now, except from the floor plan. But here I can group select those. So that's why I like to draw it with 2D first, because it's easier to work with. And then I convert it to 3D. And that works pretty well. And then what I might do sometimes is I'll just put a thinner material behind that. Just put that in there.
Yeah, no reason not to do this in floor plan because of what you just stated.
I agree, but again,
it's kind of a brain twister. You naturally want to put it on the wall because it's a wall thing, but
yeah, I mean, we could do it in 3D and use the XY copy and all that good stuff too, and that could work just fine. What am I doing here? I'm setting the depth here at 1/4 inch, and then I could just put that behind the tile, of which I don't have it against the wall enough. Oh, because I have it too thick. Come on, get in there. There you go.
Hey, Dan and John, I gotta keep going.
So I can grab all this stuff if I use the marquee select. I might get the one where I do the contained objects, so I don't get the wall too. Now I could move those away. What was that question?
Oh, I said I got to get going.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're done for the day anyway. I hope you have a good, safe trip. You guys, we'll see you next time.
Before you go, Renee, have you heard of this collector for materials?
I have not. If it'd be great if they could post a little link to that.
Yeah, I tried Googling it. I can't find it. So Tim, if you can add some more information here quick, that'd be great.
Yeah, there's a ton of material sites out there that you can get a lot of materials from. Again, what you're looking for are seamless textures. So if you can get your hands on those, you're good to go. All right. Renee's gone. I think we're gone. John, everybody, thank you for being here. Check out our classes again. We got coming up in Bloomington in December, and then check out our summit we got coming up in March. Look forward to seeing you. You guys take care. See you next time.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.